What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? If you know me, you know who I am. If you don't, my name is Trey Fab. I'm a React content creator. I like to react to different content, whether that be drama, TikTok nonsense, basketball content as well, different basketball insights, and modern NBA creators as well. I also have been dabbling in wrestling content. I've been posting that on my YouTube shorts though, so if you're into the WWE, go ahead and look at my YouTube shorts. I be yapping about that time and time again. But with that being said, today no intro. No intro. It's Saturday. I usually don't post videos on Saturday, but I will make an exception because, it's playoff season. So sit back, listen to me yap. No intro needed because there's not much content to react to here. I'm just going to yap for about 5 minutes on each series. So what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 8. So it should take me like 30-ish minutes, maybe 40. I'll try to keep it short. If you know me, you know I'm a yapper. So let's just get this started. Before we start about each series, I want to first talk about the games that happened last night, and then we'll move to talking about each series as a whole. So first, last night. I'll start with Timberwolves versus the Lakers. Ooh. First, we'll start with the Timberwolves because that's going to be a lot shorter because they did good. Let's start with the Timberwolves. One thing I like from Anthony Edwards is they made, at the end of the game, the Lakers made Anthony Edwards be a playmaker, and he was able to do that. I think he played extremely well. He was able to get other players involved. He was able to find other players for wide open jumpers, whether that be Julius Randle or whether that be even Naz Reid. He was able to get, funny enough, good reads on plays that were set up against him. He was able to make sure he got his team fully engaged on the offensive side of the ball and not just always seeking out his own shot. Because one thing about Anthony Edwards is he is a dynamic offensive weapon, but I don't really trust his playmaking ability. But he showed last night when it needs to be done, he gets that shit done. So I give praise to Anthony Edwards in that regard. I think Mike Conley even played good. Only played 21 minutes, but he still played well. Rudy Gobert, even though he didn't put up much numbers, I still think he was a force out there. And Jaden McDaniels, one thing about McDaniels is he's on and he's off, but when he's on, he's on. Okay? He played extremely well. Defensively, he was well. I liked Alexander Walker as well. He's a good defender. He's just a bit smaller depending on who you put him on. But I think the team as a whole just played really well. The communication was good. Julius Randle, I gave him a lot of shit, especially when he was on the Knicks, but he's showing that he can be a good piece. He's showing that he could be a good piece. Now, do I think that the Timberwolves can win this series? Obviously, if they win the next game, which is game 4, yeah. I'm sorry. Going down 3-1 against this team is not an exception, but we're not talking about the Lakers right now. We're just saying as a whole, right now, they obviously have a stronghold in the series. Their next game is at home. We're going to see if they can go ahead and take a stronger stronghold in this series and really put the Lakers on their back foot. But as of right now, this game in particular, if we're just talking this game, I'll go ahead and talk about the series when we talk about the playoffs series as a whole when we get to that tab. But for now, this game in general, the Timberwolves played extremely well. I thought they played extremely well. They started the way they wanted to start immediately, putting the Lakers on their back foot, making the Lakers have multiple turnovers. Their defense was extremely engaged, something that I wish the Lakers were, but again, we'll get to them in a second. They were extremely engaged on the defensive side of the ball, causing multiple 24-second violations, and I do like how they didn't just stick to just blitzing Luka. They actually stuck to their assignments, and they made it difficult for everyone on the team on the Lakers side of the ball to really get a good shot up and made the Lakers flustered. The way that the Timberwolves played against the Lakers is kind of similar to the way that the Lakers were playing against the Timberwolves back in LA. made them look flustered, made them look like they don't know what they were doing. Silly turnovers, ridiculous plays that just didn't make sense, breakdown of communication. Everything just seemed to be going in the Timberwolves' favor, and a lot of that came from just energy. So, respect to the Timberwolves. They played extremely well, and I don't want to take that game away from them. Now the Lakers. Now let's talk about the Lakers. Let's talk about the Lakers because sadly, I am not in a good mood with them. Yeah. The thing with the Lakers last night is let's start in order. Let's go one at a time, right? Let's start with the good. Because there's not much good to talk about. There's a lot of bad. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this video too long. So let's get this done as soon as I can. So let's start with the good. The good. I think LeBron played well. I like that LeBron was able to come out and show that he's able to put up good numbers on good shooting efficiency, especially from the three-point land. I could have liked a couple more free throws from him. 7 for 10 is probably not the greatest, 70% from the free throw line, but even if he went 10 for 10, they were still going to lose this game. I still think he played well, though. 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, only 1 turnover. We'll get to that in a second. Having the lowest amount of turnovers when it comes to the starting lineup, besides Jackson Hayes, but Jackson Hayes literally only played 9 minutes, so I'm not really counting that. But I think LeBron played extremely well. There were a few fumbles at the end of the game that people bring up for whatever reason. There was, like I said, a breakdown in communication. The Timberwolves were really blitzing everyone on the team. They weren't just sticking to one guy. And LeBron had the ball in his hands. They were down by, I believe it was 7 or 8. And he kind of just chucked up a 3. And it hit the side of the backboard. And that was kind of game at that point. But there was no design play. Everybody just looked flustered at that point. And I'm not going to hold that against LeBron, considering that of everyone on the team, he's really the only one that really came to play, at least in an efficient matter. Now, I will say that Rui Hachimura, he looked good in the beginning. I still think he played well. When it comes to Rui, I need him to step up more. 8 points is just not acceptable, especially when I know he can give 15. I'm not going to hate on Dorian Finney-Smith too much. I know I'd be giving him shit, but he hit his shots. He was 2 for 4 from 3, 3 for 6 overall. He played decent. Jared Vanderbilt, I'm starting to get a little upset with him. I get that he was a plus-minus, +5, but I'm not trying to hate on Jared, but watching him play last night, there was so many just mental fumbles, and it wasn't just last night. The thing with Jared Vanderbilt, if you actually watch him play, he has these ridiculous mental fumbles that's just unlike himself, really. I talked about this before in the other game against the Timberwolves when they were in LA. Jared Vanderbilt got a offensive foul on one end, and then a few seconds later went on the other end and got a defensive foul. Last night, he had a mental fumble when it came to passing the ball in. He caught an air ball, and he tried to, pass it, but completely fumbled it and just passed it to a Timberwolf. If you get the ball in this compromising position, he was on the sideline. I can kind of point to it. Right here, he was on this sideline. And if you get the ball in that position, one thing you want to do is throw it as far as you can and hope that your player picks it up. And the worst case scenario is the other team picks it up, but now they got to come back and set up a play, and it gives your team to set up a defense, to set up transition defense, because that would technically be a transition play at that point. But what you don't want to do is try to go for the short pass, or if you're going to be pushed out, you want to throw it off the player's leg to try to get it out of bounds. You never ever want to try to do a short pass. It's too dangerous, and if they pick it off, what ends up happening? Easy layup or a foul, and that's exactly what happened with Jared Vanderbilt. And there was a couple mental plays like that where he just was slipping. Also saw Goodwin miss a wide open layup again. This guy, I love his energy, but sometimes he just pisses me off. I'm gonna be honest. Jesus Christ. Gabe Vincent was 1 for 2. He hit a wide open three. He missed another, but it is what it is. I give him shit, but this man is making what, like 40 mil? I'm not gonna say a year, but his contract's like 22 or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what his contract is, but he's making too much money to be playing like that. I don't think anybody's going to want to pick him up, sadly, but I feel like the Lakers got to make him part of a trade package this offseason to get themselves a big, because Gabe Vincent has just not been playing the way he was playing back in Miami. Now, one thing I don't like at all, is the narrative, and I know I'm going to see it from Shap Attack, Scap Attack, Skippity Scat Pack, this guy.
Daddy watching on from the sideline.
I know I'm going to see it. I haven't even looked up his name, dog. I haven't even looked up his name. Sometimes his videos will pop up in my feed. I say not interested. Listen, YouTube, just because I watch something doesn't mean I want you to keep pushing it to me. But I haven't seen his videos. I know he be uploading all the time. I haven't seen his videos pop up on my feed, but I promise you, if I go to his shit and we type in Scap Attack, I bet you he's going to talk about last night's game, and I bet you he's going to somehow blame LeBron. So if that is the case, guys, for tomorrow, because I upload 2 videos on Sunday, one for drama and one for basketball. Tomorrow, for the basketball video, I'll react to Scap Attack, okay? Because this is a very wordy video we're doing here, a very fucking analytical video. So why don't tomorrow we do a fun brain rot video with Scap Attack, okay? It'll be brain rot mixed with basketball. We'll have fun. I bet you he's going to talk about the Lakers. I bet you he's going to somehow blame the 40-year-old that played 41 minutes, who got 38 points on 13 of 21 shooting, 5 of 9 from the three-point land, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals, only 1 turnover when everybody else had 5, 4, 3, and the only other starter to get lower than him was Jackson Hayes, who played 9 minutes at 0. He is going to blame LeBron, and somehow he's going to look at Luka, and I get Luka was sick, and I get Luka had a stomach bug, but I don't care. JJ made a good point. If you're on the court, we're going to treat you like you're Luka. And he was on the court. He played 40 minutes. He went 6 of 16. He went 2 of 8 from 3. And you know what? Even if he is sick, he had very, very bad basketball IQ last night. You would have thought that motherfucker was Vanderbilt. Sorry, no offense to Vanderbilt. But he had very, very, very bad mental lapses last night. That has nothing to do necessarily with sickness. Sure, you can say his shooting was bad because sickness. It took him a while to get back on defense because sickness. Okay? But the mental lapses that he had last night, absolutely unacceptable. I'm sorry. He tried to play iso ball a few times, but it's like, dude, you're 2 of 8. You have not been playing well. Okay? You have not been playing well. Why don't you fuck around and try to get your team involved? I'm sorry, but if you're 6 of 16, I'd rather have you be 6 of 10. I'd rather have you be 6 of 10. I'd rather have you not try to shoot that much if you know that you're just not hitting. You're not hitting. Or 3 for 10, because it took him, he was bad in the beginning of the game. Very bad. So yeah, as soon as you have 5, 6 shots not go down, I know shooters shoot, and I respect that. But damn, Luka, try to get your team involved, dog. I know he had 8 assists. He played well at that part of the ball as far as passing when he needed to pass, but I just think that Luka was just not, he just was not well. I get that he was sick, and that's why I kind of have the Lakers taking this series, but we're not going to talk about the series right now in this moment. I just feel like Luka just could have played better even if he was sick, and I think he played very, very bad. I think he played very bad. He had 5 turnovers, and all these turnovers were mental lapses, okay? 5 turnovers, and it was just not a good game. He was actually pissing me off a little bit because he would not get back on defense. He would not close out. And again, if you're on the floor, close out. He would not close out. And Julius Randle had 2 wide open jumpers. It was just frustration last night that I was feeling. And I get that JJ's a first-year head coach. What are you going to do? You can't take out Luka Doncic in the fourth quarter. Because if you take out Luka in the fourth quarter, what are they gonna say? Why are you taking out Luka in the fourth quarter? Okay, and if they end up losing this game, if they end up losing this game, and let's say the Lakers lose the next game, which again, if I think the Lakers lose the next game, they're not gonna win this series. They could push it to 7, but I don't know. They're not gonna win this series if they lose the next game. So let's say the Lakers lose the next game, then JJ would be up for his job when they end up losing this series. Because they would just go back and say, why did you not put Luka in game 3 in the fourth quarter? So, yeah, Luka did not play well. But I promise you, Scap Attack is going to find a reason to blame LeBron for this game and say that, Luka was sick, so LeBron could have. I'm gonna call it right here. You guys ready? Quote me on this. Quote me on this. Quote me on this. Because we're not sure if Scap Attack even talked about this, but it's a Lakers loss. Okay? And Luka didn't play well. And he kind of doesn't like Luka. I can't really get a read on that. Sometimes he talk shit about Luka. Sometimes he'll talk shit on Luka, but really he's talking shit on LeBron to kind of talk shit on Luka. It's weird. But nonetheless, Luka played bad and the Lakers lost, so he's definitely got to talk about it, right? He's going to say, I want to narrow it down. I don't want to be a guy that says one of these 5 things, because then I'll be right. I just want to make it very, very clear. He's going to say, I predict he's going to say, LeBron should have stepped up since Luka was sick. And if LeBron is the king and the GOAT like he claimed he is, he could have won this game by himself, but he didn't. And he fumbled in the fourth quarter. And he's going to bring up the fact that LeBron had a missed 3 towards the end of the fourth quarter that was ridiculous to hit out the side of the backboard. I promise you, that's what he's going to bring up. We're going to watch Gap Attack tomorrow. We're going to see what happens. But that's enough Laker talk. I could keep draining on more, but we're 15 minutes in. We got other games to talk about. We got playoffs to talk about. But it's just frustrating, when this team just, last night, the turnovers were killing them. It was terrible, bro. What was this, 16 turnovers? The turnovers were a problem. They were a huge problem. Okay, because I promise you, the Timberwolves had a lot of points off turnovers, and if it wasn't for all these goddamn turnovers, the Lakers probably win this game. One thing JJ is good at is adjustments. So I think they come back in the next game and they win it. But still, that does not matter. I don't like this wishy-washy behavior from the Lakers, because at the end of the day, it's just effort. Jared Vanderbilt's fucking disgusting, nonchalant pass, effort. Okay? It's just these effort plays are going to matter when it comes to the playoffs. The Timberwolves wanted it more. The Timberwolves won it. So I don't like speaking like that, because we can talk about, this whole thing has been about analysts, breaking it down, pointing out the numbers, pointing out who played well, who did not play well, pointing out what's good and bad about each player. But at the end of the day, effort is the biggest part of defense. And I think the defense of the Lakers is the reason they even won game 2. Is because they were extremely, extremely aggressive on defense. But I think the lack of defense on the Lakers' part in this game, the lack of effort and the mental lapses, is the reason they lost this game. Your 40-year-old dropped 38 points. Come on, guys. This shouldn't be happening. This should not be happening. I'm happy it is. Bron showing them cats he can still ball, but at the end of the day, this should not be happening. I think the Lakers are going to step up. Austin Reeves, he played okay, but he could have played better. Luka could definitely play better. Even Rui Hachimura could play better. I think the mental lapses are going to go down. I think JJ's really going to get on their ass about the turnovers. And I think the next game, the Lakers can step up. But as for this game, it was a bad game, bad showing by the Lakers. A lot of mental lapses, a lot of lack of aggression on defense, a lot of wide open shots for the Timberwolves. I'm sorry. If you're not going to close these players out, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. These are professional basketball players. I don't care how bad they are from 3. If you don't close out, you're going to lose. But it was a fun game to watch nonetheless. Till the end. That shit sucked. But we'll see what happens in the next one. Okay, Bucks, Pacers. Let's talk about this real quick. Siakam, he's a problem. I'm going to be honest with you. In a good way. Siakam is probably one of my dark horse players to be on the lookout for, especially in the East. He plays well. He plays aggressive every single night, and I think with the addition of him to this team is probably a huge plus. I like the way that Halliburton runs the offense. I love that. I love the aggression of Miles Turner, even though he didn't play well. He was only 1 for 9 this game. And I will say, when it comes to Obi Toppin, he should have played better. But yeah, Nimhard, he should have played better. Like, this team just they had an off shooting night. They're extremely offensive based too. Like, they're an offense team through and through, and they just should have played better, and they played like shit. Like, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I like Siakam, but he should not be the one that's just completely leading your offense. But yeah, 14 turnovers. Turnovers was a problem for them as well. But at the end of the day, I think when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, when it comes to this team, I still think they're going to win this series. But we're not talking about that. I do like how this series has gone so far. It's just it's been kind of blowouty the last couple of games, but it still has been extremely fun to watch. This game was even fun to watch until about the third quarter, because if you guys watched this game and you saw the third quarter, I mean, you guys can read up here. The fucking Milwaukee had 39 points in the fucking third quarter, so then shit got a little out of hand there. But at the the way the series is going, I still take Pacers, but again, we're just talking about one game. Their field goal percentage was just terrible. Like, they just had a bad shooting night. Field goal was terrible, 3-point was terrible, turnovers were terrible. But I don't think this feels like a rarity more than a normality when it comes to the Pacers, so I think they'll step up the next game. Now, will they win it? We'll see, but yeah, I don't want to talk too much shit on them. Like, at the end of these guys just gotta shoot better. These guys gotta shoot better. They gotta play better when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, because you guys are an offense-based team. Like, you're strong in that aspect of it, so you need to make sure you cannot be outscored 39-18 and only scored 18 points in a quarter. That's not your identity. But I trust Rick Carlisle. I trust the team, and this was a bad showing, but great win for the Bucks. Now, if we go to the Bucks side of things, fuck. I'm sorry. 37 points from Gary Trent Jr. That's the biggest thing here. 37 points, 9 of 12 from 3-point land. Jesus Christ. 4 steals, 3 rebounds, okay? No turnovers. Luka, you see that? No turnovers. This was just an amazing game for Gary Trent Jr. We're going to talk about Giannis in a second, but I want to... Gary Trent Jr., dog, come on, bro. Come on. 0 turnovers? You take 16 shots and you get 0 turnovers, I'm extremely impressed with you. That's impressive. 34 minutes. This man played well. The fact that he was a plus 20 and Giannis is a plus 24, no disrespect to Giannis. I'm just saying, this man right here, 16 shots were taken, and he got 37 points off those 16 shots. And not only that, he had no turnovers. Now, obviously, Giannis was filling up the stat sheet in another way, and we're going to get to that in a second. But I do love this. I love that this happened. But again, this is more of a rarity. If this happened with Dame, I'd be excited, but it didn't. Dame had 7 points. And I think that is troubling, because if the Bucks have any chance of winning the series, Dame needs to step up, but we'll get to that when we talk about playoff series. But this was interesting. As far as the Bucks did in this game, it was fun. It was fun, and I loved how Gary Trent Jr. played. I love the fact that he didn't turn the ball over. This is just a hooper right here, a pure hooper. But Bobby Portis played well as well. I don't think his shooting was well though. Yeah, 0 for 4, 5 for 13. Yeah, his shooting was just not good. But Damian Lillard needs to step up. Now, Giannis, bro. Holy shit. 12 rebounds, 6 assists, a block. I mean, a steal, no blocks. That's what I was about to say. No blocks. No blocks. O block. Kind of crazy. But still fun. Still fun. I think the fact that they were able to win by 16 and they didn't have to have Giannis have this stat line in order to do it, I like it because look, Giannis has to have this stat line. It seems like every game in order for them to even win. But I like that he was able to take a break. He only played 32 minutes, 37 points out of that, and he was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Which, if you know anything about Giannis, that's surprising. He played well. Brook Lopez, nah. Kyle Kuzma, I don't even want to talk about him. He's just trash. And Damian Lillard needs to step up. I understand he came back, but again, if you're on the court, you're playing. I understand that injuries matter and all that shit matters, but it's playoff season, baby. You're on the court, you're playing. And I do think this is a problem if Damian's going to continue to play this way. All right, last game. Celtics and Magic. Now, Jason Tatum, I know that we don't glaze him enough. Okay, according to ESPN, he's disrespected because we don't glaze him enough, which is really dumb. I will say that when it comes to ESPN and shit like that, they are very heavy Laker centric. And funny enough, they're very heavy OKC centric as well. At least when I be watching shows and shit like that. So I get it. If you're like a Boston fan, it's like, damn, bro, we dropped 61 games. I mean, Jason Tatum is on a tear and we barely get talked about. I get that. But it's like, look, you guys are going to... I think it's just the reason that OKC is talked about a lot is because of the dispatching they're doing of Memphis. And the reason that the Lakers are talked about a lot is because it's a large market. It's the Lakers, it's Luka, it's LeBron. And you guys are facing the Magic right now. So it's no disrespect to Boston fans, but it's like, what do you want us to talk about? There's not much to talk about. Like, you guys are facing a team that you absolutely should disparage of in 5 games. Like, this should be, you guys should beat this team in 5 games. The Magic offensively are just atrocious. Like, they just are. Defensively, they're alright. But if you take a good defense and a terrible offense, that just makes you a little bit, just a little bit close to an average NBA team. Like, you should take these guys down easily. And they're 41-41, so they're an average NBA team. You guys should take this team down easily. That's just what it is. But when it comes to the game last night, Jason Tatum played well. 36 points. 4-10 from 3. He loves chucking them up. But he hasn't been like the greatest 3-point shooter. He's been aight. But the Boston, when they fall in love with that 3, it ends up costing them. 9 of 27 from 3, 33%, 27 shots from 3. Now, way less than their season average of like, what, 45? So that's good. But still, if it ain't hitting, it ain't hitting. These guys just fall in love with that 3-point line at times. But I'm not going to sit here and say that the 3-point line is the only reason they lost last night. At the end of the day, it just seems like their defense wasn't clicking, especially for a team that was so high offensively rated, and you guys dropped 93 points. And you dropped 11 points in the third quarter. That's unacceptable. That is extremely unacceptable. 11 points in the third quarter of a playoff game. That's just not okay. You guys should have lost by more than 2. But again, like we talked about, Orlando being an below average offensive team. I'm not shocked that Orlando only won by 2. But the fact that you guys only lost by 2 is shocking, because any other team, this is a blowout. 11 points in the third. Jesus Christ, guys. What are we doing? Peyton Pritchard, bleh. Like, he should have had more touches. Definitely should have more touches. I do like Peyton Pritchard, and I do like how he is a good catch and shoot shooter. Catch and shoot shooter? Catch and shoot shooter. That's how you would say it. But he is a good catch and shoot shooter from the three. I do like him a lot as far as that goes. And I do think, funny enough, damn, 0 from 0. Luke Kennard, 0 from 0. These guys should have had more 3-point attempts. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird as fuck. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jason Tatum 4 of 10, Jesus. But he still played well. 36 points. Had a block, had a steal, but 7 turnovers, dog. 6 turnovers from Brown. It was just a bad game overall, but I hope that you guys understand this is probably one of the worst games that Boston has played. Tatum had 7 turnovers. He had 36 points, but Tatum's going to give you buckets. We know this. But 7 turnovers, 6 from Brown. Okay? You guys had 19 as a team. You guys were 33% from 3. Like, this was a bad game. 11 points in the third, and you still lost by 2. So if you are Boston, I'd feel a little good about that because it's like, damn, one of our worst games ever, and we still only lost by 2. So, and then as for the Orlando Magic, if you're an Orlando Magic fan, just be happy with the win. You got a home playoff win. You're probably going home in 5, if we're being honest, but you got a home playoff win. Paulo played well. Franz played well. This was a fun game. It was a very fun game. Like, at the end of the game, it was extremely intense and extremely close. I loved it. But as far as, like, your team goes, like, you have a good core. You do. KCP, I do like him as far as, like, a veteran leader in that locker room to, like, talk to the players. But I'd just be happy with the core that you have. Be happy with the core that you have. Be looking forward to the future you can build. You guys had a great game last night. It was extremely fun to watch. But as far as you guys, like, how'd you play? I don't even think you guys played well. It was just fun to watch, but I don't think you played well. I mean, you guys were sitting on 13 turnovers, which isn't atrocious, but it's still not the greatest. You guys were sitting on 41% from the field goal range, 25% from 3, 73% from the free throw line. This was a good game for you guys, and it's still like, damn, it's bad. It's bad. But a win is a win, and that's all that matters. You got a home playoff win against Boston, okay? There's not going to be many teams that can say that this year. I promise you, okay? So you guys played well. I do respect this team, and I do look forward to the future of the Magic. Hopefully they're able to keep the core, and hopefully they're able to build upon what they have, especially like teams like the Detroit Pistons coming up as well. So that's my little 30-minute rant on these 3 games. So let's hopefully make the next rant here 10 minutes or less, okay? We'll make these short. We're going to talk about the playoff series extremely short, extremely quickly, and get it out the way. Okay, first, OKC. They're looking to close out the Grizzlies right now. As we speak, they got, I thought, a 10-point lead. Did you guys just see that? I'm going to have to rewind the video after I upload it. I'm like 90% sure that said 77. And then it flashed to 74. And now this says 69. Interesting. But they still hold a lead against the Grizzlies. How do I feel about this series? Ja Morant being out is a huge issue. I don't think, obviously no one thinks that the Grizzlies are going to come back from 3-0. If it was 3-1, it'd be different. 3-1's a hole, but like in the first round of the playoffs, depending on who's in that hole, I mean, it's possible. We've seen 3-1 comebacks multiple times in the semifinals. Hell, we saw 3-1 comebacks in like the conference finals a few times. Like, 3-1 comebacks happen, especially in the first round. They're a deficit, and it's bad, but it's not as horrible as one may think so. But 3-0, unless you're just, if this was flipped and the Thunder were, then maybe, but I don't see this happening. So I got the Thunder, obviously taking this series. They've been the better team. They are the better team. And John Morant being injured is a huge deficit towards them. Grizzlies, Nuggets and Clippers. How do I feel about the Nuggets and Clippers? Mad respect to the Nuggets. Mad respect to the Nuggets. I feel like the Clippers might win tonight. I do feel like the Clippers might win tonight. And the reason I feel that way is because the Clippers have just been playing extremely well. And even though I have the Nuggets winning in 7 games, I just don't know if they're able to pull it off, especially after Michael Porter Jr. comment of saying he feels like 20 to 30% of himself. That's an issue, okay? I mean, we saw what happened when Luka had a stomach bug and wasn't playing like himself. They lost. So when it comes to the Nuggets, if they win this game, especially with a coach that's played 5 games, the only way they're going to win this game is if Michael Porter Jr. is able to play. He is a very important piece, a very important role player, and I think Russell Westbrook injured himself in... Here, let's check that. I think Russell Westbrook might have injured himself in the practice where... Man, I wish I was live so you guys could help me. Here it is. I'm going to start going live more, guys. It's just like I said, once I'm done with school, and I'm done with school in 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks. I think I'm going to celebrate by doing a 24-hour live. Let me know what you guys think about that. I might do that. But I digress from that. When it comes to Russell Westbrook, yeah, he injured himself in practice. So Westbrook may be out, but we'll see. Porter Jr. is probably going to play. But if he plays and he's not himself, I don't see them pulling away with a victory here. I think this is a loss. And not only do I think it's a loss, I think it's a bad one. So we'll see what happens. If the Nuggets tie up this series going back to Denver, I think it will end up being Denver in 7. But if the Clippers are able to pull away the series 3-1, then the Clippers are going to be meeting OKC in the second round, and that's going to be fun and interesting to think about. Now let's move to the Lakers and Timberwolves. How I feel about this series so far. I think that the 2 losses that the Lakers have was mental lapses and lack of trying, really. I don't ever want to take away wins from a team because the Timberwolves have been playing well. I don't want to take that away. Anthony Edwards say, hey, you're going to make me a playmaker, I'll be a playmaker. But at the end of the day, the Lakers... I need to make a bingo card. Sometimes I catch myself saying that too much at the end of the day. Jesus. I'm going to make a Trey Fab bingo card. And I'm probably going to put it on my YouTube post. I'll do that if I hit 500 subscribers. Because at that point, I think I can finally monetize shit. But once I hit 500 subscribers, I'll make a Trey Fab bingo card. And whoever fills out a bingo card, maybe I get them a fucking $10 hat or some shit like that. I don't know. But we're talking about future content stuff. For now, let's talk about this. So, at the end of the day, the Timberwolves have been playing extremely well. And I don't want to take away the fact that they've been winning. But the Lakers they are the better team. They just are. They are the better team. I feel like they're more experienced, and I do think they're able to pull out this victory. I just think they need to play to their potential. Luka needs to play better. Rui needs to play better. Gabe needs to play better. Vanderbilt needs to play better. No one's looking at Vanderbilt and saying he's supposed to give you 10 points a game. He's not there for that. He's there for defense only, but damn, if you're going to be there for defense, defend. Vando, what are you doing? But I just think when it comes to the Lakers, they're not losing 2 in a row, especially with Luka, who loves playing on the road. And his playoff record shows that Luka is a very good playoff player. So I don't see them losing 2 in a row, and I think they pull away with this victory tomorrow, but we will see. Now, Rockets and Warriors. This one is interesting. I have Jimmy Butler pulled up already. He's a game time decision. We're not even 100% sure if Jimmy will play. But even if he does play tonight, with him being hampered, I don't know if the Warriors are able to pull away a victory, and if they go down 2-1 to the Rockets, that's not a terrible hole. I mean, look at the Lakers. They're down 2-1 to the Timberwolves, but it's not a terrible hole. It's not. But it's a hole nonetheless. And even if Jimmy comes back, this is a good, young, fast team. And that will help you in the first round of the playoffs. And the Warriors are older, more brittle, as we can see. And even Steph Curry's dealing with some issues with his thumb. Like this is a bit scary if you're a Warriors fan. But we'll see what happens tonight. Even if Jimmy does play, I'm not sure if they win that game, but I still got the Rockets pulling this series away. Not because I don't trust the Warriors' experience. It's just I don't trust the Warriors' experience as a team whole. Steve Kerr's got experience. Draymond's got experience. Steph's got experience. And Jimmy's got experience. Everybody else on the team, though, Quentin Post, Podziemski, I don't know what you want me to make of that. And Kuminga's not even really playing. He's kind of... I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea what's going on with that. I don't know why Kerr's not playing him. I don't know if there's some inner problems within the locker room that's going on there. But with him only being played because Jimmy gets injured and this weird dynamic he has with the team, I just don't know if the Warriors are able to pull it off. It just seems like a mixture of dysfunction, age, and injury. And when you put these three together, I don't know how you're going to tell me that they're going to beat a young team who is healthy and looking to prove people wrong. Like, I don't know. So I got the Rockets pulling this off in 7, and I got them winning tonight. Now, Cavaliers and Heat. The Cavs just beat the Heat, so their next game, I'm sorry. Tyler Hero, love ya. Spoelstra, love ya. Bam, love ya. You guys are getting out. Mobley, DPOY, deservedly so. I understand that people wanted Tyson Daniels to win that and over there in Atlanta, and I think he played well. I think if we look at numbers, if we look at Dyson Daniels' numbers, I mean, he played well. He did good defensively. But the reason I think it just went to Mobley is because you kind of, Mobley was. I've been telling you guys when I've been watching these Cleveland games, Mobley is a problem, and I like Mobley. But when it comes to Dyson Daniels, I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. A lot of you guys feel like he was kind of robbed of it, but I don't think it's a robbery. I still think that Mobley is deserving of it. He's been playing well defensively all year round, and I think he's kind of been showing that in the playoffs so far. So, Cavs are going to win this series. I don't think that's a shocker to anybody. Are you guys shocked by that? Cavs are going to win this series. They're probably going to sweep the Heat. And that one's kind of in the books. I don't think there's much for me to rant about there. The Heat have just been on a downward spiral ever since the Jimmy trade. I'm surprised they even made it past the play-in. Now, Pacers and Bucks. I still got the Pacers. I still got them in 6. But if the Bucks and Gary Trent Jr., I don't expect 37 points and 0 turnovers from the homeboy every single game. But he's able to give me like 25. And if Damian Lillard can give me 20 at least, then I think they pull off some victories. So it may make me rethink this playoff series as a whole. But right now, I still got the Pacers. I still got the Pacers. I still got them winning. But we'll see what happens. I am very interested to see if Damian Lillard, I understand him coming back from DVT is hard, especially when you had blood clots. That shit is not easy to just step back from. So we'll see what happens. But I got the Pacers. I got the Pacers, and I got them in 6. Now, the Knicks and the Pistons. This is going to be a shocker. Of course I got the Knicks. I do love Detroit, though. I love the basketball culture they've been building up there. I don't like the whole let's box it out attitude from them. I don't think they got to be bad boy to be good. But I do love that the team will stick up for each other. I love Cade. He is a hooper, bona fide. And he's going to continue to be a bona fide hooper. So I am slowly liking Detroit, and I'm excited to see what they do in the East for the future. I do think this is a team, especially if you keep the core together, that's going to end up being probably one of the prominent teams in the East. As long as they continue to play well. And I think they should abandon that whole fight me attitude a little bit. But even if they don't, I still think they'll be a prominent team in the East. But right now, I just don't think they're ready. And I also don't think they really have enough to take on the Knicks. As long as Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson are able to play the way they're supposed to play, I think the Knicks absolutely have enough to take this series over and win it in 6 games. So still got the Knicks winning this series. And then this one, we can end it with me talking for like 10 seconds. Boston's going to beat the Magic. Magic is an average team. Magic is a team that I think can be good, but I don't think they're going to be prominent like the Pistons or even the Pacers. They're a team that can be good. They're a team that could be on the lookout. But they're just a fun regular season team. But Boston is absolutely better in every way, shape, or form. They had their worst game of this year, I'd say, and they ended up losing by 2 points. So I'm sorry. I got Boston pulling this out in 6, probably 5. So I think I answered every series. No, I answered the Nuggets. I still think the Nuggets can win this series. But I lean towards the Clippers winning tonight. Obviously, if the Clippers win tonight, I'm flipping my shit and saying the Clippers are winning the series. But if the Nuggets end up winning this game tonight, then I still have them winning the series. I know that's a little bit of diversion there. I'm kind of like giving you 2 answers at once, but it's just the way I gotta see how the game turns out. This game's about to be started here in like 30 minutes, so I'm gonna upload this and go watch that game. I got games to watch, guys. I got games to watch. Usually I watch the game and do my homework at the same time, so double task. But I'll watch this game here in the next 30 minutes. I'll watch this game afterwards. Hopefully I'm done with my homework so I can give my full attention to it. And we'll see what happens. But as far as everything else, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys like my ranting. We'll just go through it real quick. I have Thunder winning this game here. Shocker. They're going to go on to the next series. I have the Nuggets, if they win tonight, winning this series. But if the Clippers win tonight, which I feel like they will, if Michael Porter Jr. is not playing like himself, then the Clippers will win this series. It's just, this game is just big tonight, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This game is everything. I have the Clippers winning this game, which means I probably have the Clippers winning the series. But we'll see how Michael Porter Jr. plays. I have the Lakers winning this series. I believe they will win the next game. I believe Luka will play better. And I believe JJ will make good adjustments. I am not high on Chris Finch in the playoffs as much as other people want to be. He does not have a good playoff record. And I'm really not that high on him as a coach. He's a very good regular season coach, but he's kind of reminiscent of like a Doc Rivers. He's just not amazing in the playoffs. He just hasn't been. I have the Rockets. They're younger, they're faster, they're more aggressive, and they got the energy. I just trust, and they do have like Dylan Brooks on there that's got some playoff experience. They have Van Vliet on there that has playoff experience. They have a good coach, and Ime Udoka, who's a very good coach. Like I trust the Rockets can get past the Warriors. I do think it'll be a slug match, but I do trust that the Rockets can win this series. I obviously have the Cavs. I got the Pacers in 6. I got the Knicks in 6. And I got the Celtics in 5, maybe 6. So that's my playoff predictions. That's my little playoff rant. Damn, this has been about 50 minutes. Let me tell you something. If you sat here for 50 minutes and listened to me rant about basketball, you're a hooper. You're a hooper. You're a hooper both mentally and probably physically too. You love ball. I can tell you that much. You love basketball because this was a long video and I do apologize for this. But I like basketball. And I understand that other basketball creators make very short, concise, here's a 5-minute video on me just talking ball and I'm done. But if I'm going to talk ball, even if it's a little ranty, even if I kind of repeat myself at times, I want you to get my full thoughts. I'm going to give you my full thoughts on the games that happen. I'm going to give you my full thoughts on all these playoff series and what I actually think. I want to give you everything. Everything that I feel is going to happen. And just put my fucking brain out there for you guys to dissect. And listen, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And if I am, I'll make another 50-minute, well, hopefully not, but another 50-minute rant video on how wrong I am. But I make these videos because I like to talk basketball. I want you guys to get that from me. I want you guys to understand that I love basketball. I will always love basketball, and I don't want it to be like a thing that I talk about for 2 minutes and call it a day. Now, I'm not disrespecting anybody that makes like 5-minute playoff videos, but there's so much going on with the playoffs. There's so much that's happening. And there's even a couple things I haven't really gotten into with some of these teams, but I'm obviously going to stop here because the video is long enough. I just want you guys to get like, this creator is going to talk basketball. He's going to talk basketball. But yeah, do this for you guys. This may not perform well. I know it's a longer video. Even if it is basketball, it's probably not going to perform well, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to stop doing it. So, let me upload this. Saturday's my homework day anyway. And it's the day I get all my chores done. But I had to upload this video for you guys, even if it is Saturday and it is my off day, because it's playoffs, baby. I gotta make an exception. I'll probably upload another video next Saturday. Some of these series are gonna be wrapped up. Some of these games are gonna be wrapped up, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you know my feelings about what happened at that point. So until next time, I love you. I'll see you. I'll still make basketball react videos, and obviously if series wrap up before I react to the video, I'm gonna talk about a series or two and get my feelings on it. But as for a full playoff reaction on everything playoffs, I'll drop one of those videos once a week till the finals comes. And when the finals are here, I will be done with my finals because I will be streaming that shit. Doesn't matter what team are in the finals, I'll be streaming it. I'll be talking about it, and we'll be talking about it together. So until next time, friends, I love you. I'll see you. Goodbye. Peace out.